Wars Day. Sorry, Disney, but you'll lose that argument. May the 4th is not Star Wars Day. It is May 25th, the day that Star Wars was released in 1977. It is also the day that The Empire Strikes Back was released. Greatest movie ever made, as far as I'm concerned. But this is not about that. We're going to talk a little bit about Happy Star Wars Day, reminisce a little bit, and come on, house, go to your house. Good boy. And then I'm going to go a little bit ballistic. So I hope you guys brought your earplugs. As you saw, the thumbnail that I posted on this thing written by a girl. Let me find it on my computer here. I'm wearing my Darth Vader t-shirt, as you can see. Hi, Dave. So let's find out who this chick is. She's basically on talking a little bit about the Twitter campaign of Make Solo 2 happen. And she's a young, I'd say semi-retarded millennial for writing for Inside the Magic. But I want to find her name out so I can actually call her out. All right, let's find this. I want to find out what her name is. All right, that was... Okay. All right, Star Wars fans, the one I'm talking about. And her name is Rebecca Barton. Okay, so you guys saw it, but I'm gonna show you what this looks like. So here we go, there it is. There's Rebecca's name. Let's go and see what she looks like. Why? No, I don't want that. I hate these ads. All we're gonna do is see, we're not gonna see what she looks like or anything, but that's another thing that actually was just a filler. But there he is, the discount Hobbit, and the Wookiee that was too short. Maybe Chewie was still growing. I just, I gotta say, guys, I don't know if it's because it's Star Wars Day, it's the 25th, but every once in a while, like once every 2 or 3 months, these idiots will get together and start another hashtag campaign. Now, it used to be that Disney used to listen to them, and they still think they can get this done, and I'd be afraid if Bob Iger was still in charge. He may have a lot to say, but he's definitely not in charge of okaying movies anymore. That would be Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek is a known penny pincher. And shall we go through the travails of Alden Ehrenreich's terrible, horrible, awful, embarrassing moment at cosplay at $225 million that ended up being probably $425 million making. Add the marketing. If you guys remember, the marketing was huge. Solo probably lost $250 million. Yep, you're right. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And now we're fighting minions of morons. I don't know, but we all remember when it came out. There's a comment on here saying, oh, now Star Wars fans, they used to hate it, now they like it. It's like, no. The fans that like it are the same fans, the 5 that went to see the movie. Okay? The fans that hated it are either not bothering to respond because they're adults and they're smart, or, you know, they saw the hashtag and laughed. You know, the mentality behind this hashtag makes Solo 2 happen. Think about the guy on the Good Morning America show with the stupid lizard monkey on his shoulder, trying to be Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, the baldy, with the Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirt. And think about that guy. That's the kind of person, you know, an unserious man who wants to see Solo 2 happen. And I think mostly it's because they want to say fuck you to the real fans. The real fans didn't go see this movie. And it wasn't just because of The Last Jedi. If they had had somebody that actually approximated Harrison Ford, if they'd had a better script, if the stories behind filming this debacle hadn't been so bad. I mean, let's talk about the mistakes. We've talked about these mistakes before, but let's wander back in our time machine. First off, Lord and Miller. Second off, taking away Anthony Ingruber's agreement and I've got both Solo trilogies, and I'll get into that in a minute. You know, they took away Anthony Ingruber's. They were in talks, negotiations to bring him on. Spielberg, out of loyalty to his daughter Destry, yeah, we didn't go see the movie, walks in to Kennedy's office and says, I want you to hire Alden. And the reason is he's one of Destry's best friends, and he's my accountant's son. Okay, because, you know, they all owe each other something. So he gets hired, and that's mistake number 2. So we got mistake number 1, Lord and Miller. Mistake number 2, Ehrenreich. Then we get the mistake of Larry Kasdan's little son, John. And if we all remember, he was also slated to write the script for Indy 5. He's not writing it anymore. I can't imagine why. You know, and then we got, you know, Kennedy not watching the dailies, not realizing what a debacle it was. You know, Kasdan, who should have just said, fuck it, I'll direct this because he's a director. He could have, you know, getting all pissed off, it just becoming a debacle. 80% of the movie's done. Kennedy goes, holy shit, after finally watching dailies, what the fuck are they directing? Austin Powers meets, you know, The Pet Detective, okay? Fine. But they get fired because they're doing a shitty job. Well, it's not just Anthony Ingruber. He needed a good script, and when I look at what you could have done with that script, and it's not just who acts, who's in the movie. There have been plenty of great actors that have been in lousy movies. It's not just that. It's the script. It's the director. It's the writer. It's the cinematographer. It's the editor. It's all of that. They have to get together and be on the same page. And it has to be a good, there has to be a good storyteller in there. And I'm sorry, but John Kasdan couldn't tell C-Spot run books. He couldn't come up with a good story for that. Yep, you're right. Dakari's right. So it would have to be a way different script. If they want a Han Solo movie, might I suggest stop this ridiculous fucking hashtag. Okay? Stop pushing ugly ass Alden Ehrenreich, who couldn't, I mean, Jesus. Just watching the trailer, I was like, oh God, oh God, he's horrible. He's just, you know, when they had the trailer show on Super Bowl Sunday, and I was drunk. I was like on my third glass of wine by that time. So I'm watching it, and I put my reaction up. I was laughing my ass off. I mean, just seeing him like with his head tilt, with that trying to approximate the Harrison Ford smirk. It's like, Jesus, no, that makes, if he ever smirked at me like that, I'd punch him. You know, I'm not kidding. You know, it's just, so anyway, this girl, Rebecca Barton, decides she's going to talk about the hashtag. Obviously, she needed filler. And that's what she did. You know, it was everything, though, 360. It was L337. It was Pando Lando. It was Alden Ehrenreich. I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to get mad at me because I know she's got fans. Emilia Clarke. That skinny, mousy, ugly little fuck who couldn't carry Carrie Fisher's driving cap. It was, I mean, Woody Harrelson, you know? And of course, we got Quinlan Ball, you know, that the bad guy, whatever his name was. I literally was so horrified by all of it that I just, you know, and I'm going to say this again. The people who defend it are like, well, it just suffered from, you know, Last Jedi backlash. And of course, you've got, you know, Bob Iger saying, well, maybe I put the movie out too fast. And, you know, oh, what did he say, Dakari? Because I'm not invested. I didn't watch. I didn't hear what he said. You know, I don't think they're going to revisit Solo in that way. I think, you know, what did he say? Because I'm not privy to that. I do know one thing, that Iger probably let a cat out of the bag when they were making it, saying Solo isn't really Han Solo's last name. And I'll bet you $1,000 that was one of the things they were going to do. And they couldn't then. You know, good going, Bob. The movie sucked anyway, so who cares? No one watched it. Um, you know, but it's one of those things where you just gotta go, fucking A, will you let it go? I don't want to see Alden Ehrenreich. I don't want to see, I'm gonna have to write a letter. I don't want to see any of it. Oh, that had nothing to do with Solo the movie. You know where I'm going with this, right? Han's gonna show up in Boba Fett. I know it now. I know it. I'm sure that Jon Favreau's going. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna say this right now, that Solo is gonna be in Boba Fett. Solo, Chewie, and maybe Leia. Well, I can't, you know, I mean, my thing is I'm past I'm so past it, but why, they keep bringing shit up. It's like, let it go. All right, he was talking about Boba Fett, and that might have something to do with Boba Fett. Yeah, they're probably, I've been, a lot of us have been talking about it. Don't be surprised to see deep fake Han Solo show up. Okay? I would say if you have both Han, Chewie, Leia, and then Cara Dune show up in Boba Fett, and then Han and Leia with the twins, like and their babies, um, it's going to absolutely floor everybody. And I'm predicting the three of them will show up. I'm hoping with the twins. All right, that would be really fantastic. Okay, Justin is lost. Who talks really really fast? Are you guys aware of that channel? Oh yeah, they would. Yeah, Jaina and Jason would break the internet. Then it'd be like, "Bye, Kyle Ron. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya." Why wasn't I privy to this? By the way, I got my Moderna shot. So if I suddenly have to leave, it's probably because I'm starting to get chills or something. So far, my arm is the only thing that hurts. And I refuse to take any painkillers for it just because I refuse. And hopefully I won't have any reaction because I've got an MRI tomorrow. Anyway, so yeah, there isn't going to be a Solo 2. It's not going to be a franchise film. It's not going to be up there on the big screen. I've got ideas for that. And if they're working on rehabbing the character and basically, chasing Alden, I mean, I am, anyway, enough of Solo. Okay, Trila, I'm looking forward to that. I was thinking about all the stuff that's gone on in the last how many years as far as the franchise has gone on. Maybe you guys would like to come up with me. Oh yeah, I mean, if they're actually working on a project without the likes of Alden Ehrenreich, I would be very into it, but he can't come back. They have to redo the whole thing. I mean, they have to, because it was such a bad movie. They can't look at that and say, this is a template. That's stupid. All right, so we're going up to my office. It's a mess. But I want to kind of show you some of the stuff, because we're celebrating Star Wars Day, that I've got. All right, first off, there we go. That's absolutely my favorite piece of art. Doesn't it look great? Then we got all the Lukes here. I still have to send this back because she looks like Raquel Welch. But we got the Lukes here. And oh, there's Stefan Earl from her boss. And, I see J.W. Rinsler's books. And there's some more. Anakin, that, and some more figures. I got Dooku. I'm going to get a new Lando because that Lando sucks. But there's Cara Dune. There's Han and Leia. There they are again. Oh, look at that. You know who that is, right? It's Jaina. And there's the Bandai Han Solo. And there's Vader fighting Obi-Wan. And there's General Veers, Tarkin, and Piet. And we're down here. Oh, look who that is. Jar Jar. Ahsoka. We got Ghost Vader, or Vader getting killed. We got Obi-Wan and Anakin from AOC there, and Mace Windu, Anakin and Padme. We got that. And there we go. There's the Tauntaun. Just it's kind of nice just to be around and with this stuff, but I gotta say, This poster right here is just badass. I mean, Alden Ehrenreich, just no. No, no, no. That's Swedish Art Deco style, so it's really cool. You know, I can't wait to put everything up. I got so much stuff. I've got a poster in my closet that's ready to go just to get framed. A vintage Sex Pistols poster that I'm gonna put up in my office, not downstairs, but because it's not a movie poster. But you know, just the stuff we've collected over the years. You know, all the books, all the magazines, all of that. Well, it's that's the thing. I mean, that was the perfect cast. You know, Carrie wasn't like the typical Hollywood beauty. She was small. She was brunette, brown eyes, but she had so much, I think, personality that just stood right out, which is why she got. Oh, I know, I should. That personality. Oh, I know, but Dave, if they're they're trying, you know, but back to the cast. I mean, then you got Mark. I know that he beat out Willie Ames for Luke, which is really funny. I mean, I kind of laugh when I think that George, who is he picked out this blonde hair, blue eyed, but I think it was the Flash Gordon thing going on there. But we had that, and Mark was perfect. The impatient kind of whiny teenager, and then you got Harrison Ford, who's older than both, kind of like the big brother in there, and the guy that's seen a lot, done a lot, seen a lot, kind of looking at these two going, because first off, think about the things that he said about taking out the empire. They didn't care, they were going to do it. I mean, so you think about everything from the merchandise that has been bought to the actors that got made. Andrew Stevens, I'm not sure who he is. I have to look him up. The merchandise, the books, everything. And, it's just, you kind of go, what George was able to accomplish and what he created and what it means in not just pop culture, but cultural history is absolutely. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I remember him now. Yeah. He wouldn't have been bad. You mean Parker Stevenson, right? Because that was Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy. If they'd have picked Sean Cassidy, I would have been vomiting. Oh God. The girls in my grade school just swooned. And I'm looking at him, imagining a dress on him because he looked like such a girl. Ugh. Bletch. I don't like that. It's very interesting where Star Wars ended up. And the fact that now we've got these people who don't care about it. They want what they want. I mean, look, my arm really hurts, so I'm going to do this. If you're a Star Wars fan, you think you are, and you're insisting on Solo to be made, you're not a Star Wars fan. Yep, happy 44th birthday. I mean, it was 1977, You're right, Mad. I mean, I would say it's probably bias, but when you think about how good those guys were together, the chemistry, even with Tarkin and David Prowse and Peter Cushing, all of those actors, it was a great, great, great cast. And you don't find that anywhere. You know, back in the day, Steven Spielberg could really cast a movie. You look at Indiana Jones. I mean, if it wasn't for him, Harrison Ford wouldn't have got that role. He watched The Empire Strikes Back and said, why don't we get Harrison? George is like, I don't want to work with him for a while because he's a pain in the ass. And then you go, and then he kept saying it, and finally they got Harry in. He liked the script. He said, sure, I'll do it. There you go. Karen Allen, as much as I don't like her, it was great. John Rhys Davies as Sala. Oh my God. There were people that could act that looked the parts they were supposed to. And it's really profoundly sad when you look at the state of the acting of people, the younger generation who's out there. I mean, you go to a lot of them aren't actors. A lot of them shouldn't be actors. A lot of them are, Alden Ehrenreich, the only reason why anybody knows who he is because Spielberg pulled a power card, and it's too bad. The monkey, I remember him. It's just too bad. The lack of talent in Hollywood right now is shocking. And right now Lucasfilm couldn't draw directors like Christopher Nolan and Ridley Scott, because of the way they treat people. Lucasfilm, the way Kennedy treats people, it's appalling. And it's too bad because that's what you do when you have a franchise that's as big as Star Wars, is you get directors that can put it together and give the fans what they want. They didn't do that. But for 40 years we had that, for however long. And, it's just, but I think the worm is turning. Now I've got it. Here's a question. Are Chapek's comments available on video? Because if they are, I'm going to watch because I want my take. I'm going to send them off to people. Because that's potentially big news right there. That's potentially big news. They know they fucked up. All right. Oh yeah, we can. From the guys who built the models and the guys that took the photography of the ships, the green screen stuff, the editing. Marshall Lucas did a great job. Of course, John Williams. Without John Williams, Star Wars wouldn't be Star Wars. That whole fanfare at the beginning of the movie. All of that is vitally important, I think. And it is worth remembering. The guys that had to wear the costumes. Ralph McQuarrie. The artists. The guys that... The scene in Return of the Jedi. Han and Lando are... Han's going to the shuttle, and Lando's going to the Falcon, and Han says, "Now remember, not a scratch." And Lando says whatever he says. It looks like the Falcon. It looks 3D, but it's a painting. That's how good the special effects were then. Yeah, well, it is, yeah, and that, and I'm sure those kids growing up with Han, Luke, and Leia Anakin and Padme are like right now. I'm really just uh, incredulous, and yet I want to celebrate. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what Lucas created and all of that. Oh, I know. I mean, George Lucas set in motion all the technology we have now. They invented CGI. All right. I mean, Pixar was created at Lucasfilm. George sold Pixar to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs then turned around and sold it to Disney. Okay? That's where it started, though, at Lucasfilm. All right? That's where John Lasseter started, was at Lucasfilm. And wherever he went, wherever Pixar went, he went. George Lucas has been the generator of so much of technology that makes films look better, that makes editing easier, that makes special effects look real. And it's really amazing when you think about it. But ultimately, before all that, he's a storyteller. And he's he creates characters that resonate because they resonated thousands of years ago. All right? The human race, despite people's well, I think she's probably gonna direct something else within the Mandalorian universe. Um, you know, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see where all this goes. I'm I'm half concerned about what Chapek meant because you can't make Solo with Alden Ehrenreich. It's just no, 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 no. Good God, no, no. I mean, he was such a turnoff. I mean, even if there hadn't been any backlash to Last Jedi, that movie still would have lost money because people would have said, you know, you can't get alpha male from a guy that can't act that way. Who has, here's the difference, and here's why Han Solo worked. Harrison Ford. Because there's a life behind those eyes. There was a life lived. He was 34 years old when they made that movie. Okay? And it's very interesting to me what he used to bring that character to life. I mean, George said, play a version of yourself, so he did. Cocky, arrogant. When I look at that, it was a mask. You understand that the guy is a survivor, and he wouldn't have gotten as far as he did within that universe by whatever. I mean, he was a survivor. So think about it. It's like, it worked. Han, it has a story. And, but when you get a guy like Alden Ehrenreich, who's supposed to be playing a young version of that character, and he doesn't understand that this is a callow guy, this kid, I mean, that has to learn to be a survivor. There's something lacking there. I mean, he tried to play a version of Han Solo that Harrison Ford did, and it's like, no. You have to play the guy who came, the kid, all right? He didn't just, jump up one day and say, here I am. No, that is 30, all right, Han's 30 years old. That's 30 years of world-weary, jaded survival mechanisms, okay? You got to play the guy that learned that. And the parts I saw, Aaron Reich went between playing somebody else and trying to mimic Harrison Ford. And it's like, no, 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 no. When you open up A.C. Crispin's books, the first one, Paradise Snare, and Han is escaping. Oh yeah, I know, Chris. Those guys too. Han is escaping, and from Gareth Shrike, and he gets to Elysia, and he runs into Bria Theron. This is a kid who basically was surviving. You know, the only person that really ever even noticed him, except to cuff him over the head with Gareth Schreiker's his minions, was the Wookiee Dulana. And so he's very much a teenager. He's very much a boy. He meets this girl. You know, oh, I already mentioned John Williams. And, you know, that was missing. That's missing from that movie. You know, the way they set it out, it was just awful. It was just awful. You know, and you guys are gonna love this. The cowed Pablo Hidalgo on his public account put out his top favorite. It's all right, Chris. His top Star Wars movies: A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back was I think 2 or 3, and at number 4 was The Last Jedi, and he's got Solo up there too, and I'm like, find it irrationally funny that movies that he had everything to do with, that he visited the set, he actually helped write the script for The Last Jedi. Those movies are up there that high. But see, you know, I still want to look and go, how can you say you love A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then this shit, when it ruins all of those? Oh wait, you were part of that. And you're not going to admit you guys fucked up. Which is, they did, and we all know it. I mean, truth is truth, facts are facts. Deal with them. It's really interesting to me, but you know, I gotta, again, I'm gonna put this out there again. Is the Merrill Lynch or whatever face to face with Chapek somewhere where I can watch it? Okay, can anybody tell me that so when I'm done here I can watch it? Because I'm going to watch it and then probably go live again or make a video. These people don't understand that they're going to have to go back and reassess Solo. They can't go back and use these characters because they're not going to make any money. They're not. You know, it's not like shotgunning. It's not like shooting a shotgun shell, wide open choke, and seeing what sticks on the paper. You can't do that. I mean, I'm going to have to look at him because I'm very particular. If they do that and it's not animated so they can actually make Han look like Han, if they do that, I want, and it's live action, I want Anthony Ingruber. I don't give a flying fuck. I really, really don't. You know, Harrison Ford chose Anthony Ingruber. Anthony Ingruber should have played the part. All right, that's it. That's all I would have needed, you know, But anyway, I have been on for almost 40 minutes. If nobody's gonna tell me if that's on video somewhere, I'm gonna have to go find it myself. But anyway, I really wish someone would have said, "Hey, watch, see this." Anyway, I'm gonna watch it, and maybe I'll come back later if I'm not tired or have a headache from this. So, talk to y'all later. See you around the galaxy.